Hi everyone, welcome to Policy 360. Today, we're going to discuss a recent diplomatic visit that has sent shockwaves across South Asia. A story that not only shapes the relationship between Pakistan and Bangladesh but also has direct implications for regional politics and India's strategic interests. Why has Pakistan still not apologized for the 1971 war crimes? What happened during the recent high-level meetings? And what does this mean for the future of Bangladesh-Pakistan relations? Stay with me as we break down the history, the diplomacy, and the hard-hitting facts that the mainstream won't tell you. Let's begin this important discussion. Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister's recent visit to Bangladesh marked the first high-level engagement in over a decade and was hailed as a historic milestone for both countries. By carefully avoiding controversial political issues and focusing on agreements in trade, education, and cultural exchange, both sides aim to reset ties while respecting regional sensitivities. Several key deals were signed, including visa-free travel for officials and major boosts to economic and academic collaboration. Despite these diplomatic breakthroughs, deep-rooted mistrust and the legacy of unresolved historical grievances still pose significant challenges to truly normalizing Pakistan-Bangladesh relations. The 1971 war between Pakistan and Bangladesh is remembered as a chapter of immense pain, a tragedy that saw between 300,000 and 3 million people killed and millions more displaced in a brutal campaign of violence and repression. The war left deep scars on Bangladesh, from the loss of lives and families to the destruction of intellectual communities and the trauma endured by hundreds of thousands of women who suffered systematic atrocities. These wounds are not just historical. They continue to shape Bangladesh's national identity and its diplomatic approach. The unresolved legacy of 1971 remains a barrier to true reconciliation, fueling mistrust and complicating every effort at dialogue between Pakistan and Bangladesh, even decades later. The diplomatic deadlock between Bangladesh and Pakistan centers on Bangladesh's persistent demand for a formal apology from Pakistan for the atrocities of the 1971 war, a demand rooted in the desire for historical accountability, justice, and closure for millions affected by the conflict. During recent high-level visits, Dhaka has clearly stated that unresolved historical issues, especially a genuine apology for genocide and reparations, are essential for stable forward-looking relations. Bangladesh emphasizes that accountability and recognition of wartime sufferings are non-negotiable for true reconciliation. Pakistan, on the other hand, continues to resist this demand, citing that the matter was resolved by past political agreements and previous expressions of regret rather than an admission of guilt. Pakistani leaders argue for moving forward, prioritizing trade and cooperation while sidestepping direct responsibility. Islamabad's reluctance stems from concerns about national identity, potential legal liabilities, and a desire to preserve a narrative that avoids full confrontation with its historical actions. This opposing stance, Bangladesh's call for historical reckoning versus Pakistan's selective amnesia, remains a major obstacle, casting a shadow over every diplomatic engagement between the two nations. Bangladesh's demand for justice hinges on a formal acknowledgement of the war crimes committed by the Pakistani military during the 1971 Liberation War. Dhaka insists that only by recognizing the scale of atrocities, including mass killings and sexual violence, can trust be rebuilt and meaningful diplomatic engagement occur. This acknowledgement is viewed as a vital step toward historical truth and reconciliation, allowing both nations to move beyond a painful past. Despite some expressions of regret from Pakistan in the past, Bangladesh continues to call for an unequivocal apology, reparations, and accountability as foundational to healing and fostering durable peace in South Asia. Without this, the shadow of 1971 will continue to impede closer ties and genuine cooperation between the two countries. Pakistan resists admitting guilt due to concerns over national identity and damaging its historical narrative. An official apology could shake the foundation of Pakistan's founding ideology. Additionally, Pakistan fears facing huge financial burdens from reparations claims by Bangladesh. This makes Islamabad avoid direct responsibility and prefer moving forward without relitigating past atrocities. Bangladesh demands $4.5 billion in reparations from Pakistan, citing unpaid shares of joint assets, foreign aid, and funds meant for the 1970 Bhola cyclone relief that never reached the victims. This financial claim includes aid misused by Pakistan's military during the crisis preceding Bangladesh's independence. The demand for reparations adds complexity to diplomatic relations, intertwining economic justice with historical accountability. Pakistan's cash-strapped status and refusal to revisit these issues deepen the diplomatic deadlock between the two countries. Pakistan faces multiple economic challenges including slow growth, high debt, and inflation pressures. The economy is stabilizing but growth remains weak, making job creation and poverty reduction difficult. Pakistan's government must balance tight fiscal policies with urgent social needs. These economic constraints complicate diplomatic efforts, limiting Pakistan's capacity to address historical reparations and move forward on reconciliation with Bangladesh. Financial pressures also force Islamabad to focus on internal stability over sensitive diplomatic concessions. The 1971 war has left a deep and enduring impact on Bangladeshi society. The legacy of mass violence, displacement, and loss still shapes national identity and collective memory. Challenges to reconciliation persist as wounds remain fresh for many communities, especially minorities who face targeted persecution. The unresolved trauma influences political discourse and societal cohesion. Diplomatically, this legacy complicates Bangladesh's relations with Pakistan, making historical acknowledgement and justice essential for lasting peace and cooperation. The war's memory continues to be a powerful force in shaping Bangladesh's present and future. The evolving relationship between Bangladesh and Pakistan is reshaping regional geopolitics but also intensifying tensions. Historical issues like the unresolved 1971 war keep mistrust alive, even as both countries recently agreed on visa-free travel to boost people-to-people and diplomatic ties. India remains highly vigilant amid these developments, wary of security risks from possible infiltration through Bangladesh into its sensitive northeastern states. New Delhi views the Pakistan-Bangladesh closeness as a strategic challenge, prompting closer monitoring and diplomatic efforts to counterbalance regional instability. This dynamic adds complexity to South Asia's already fragile security environment. India views the 1971 genocide as a crucial historical lesson that must never be forgotten. It emphasizes vigilance against any resurgence of violence and supports international awareness about the atrocities committed. For India, historical truth and accountability are essential not only for justice but also to prevent future conflicts. India's perspective reinforces the importance of remembering the past openly while promoting peace and stability in the region. This stance impacts how New Delhi approaches its relationships with both Bangladesh and Pakistan, encouraging transparency and reconciliation. What do you think is the key to true reconciliation between Bangladesh and Pakistan? Can history be set aside for future peace? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives on important current affairs. Your support helps us bring you these stories.